Oh, hopefully this is going to go through. Hey, why? My Wi-Fi is on. My Wi-Fi is on. My phone is set to my Wi-Fi. Let me just double check. Yeah, into the office. Man. Okay, well, let's see. So, how are you all doing? It has been a minute that I have done a live in the group, and I apologize sincerely. I've been trying to figure some stuff out and where I want to go and the direction that I want to go in with my business. And um, life has been going along well. Um, there's some delays in my personal life with my ex-husband, but it'll get resolved. But what I wanted to talk to you about is self-trust and trust in the universe. So it's come up a lot for a lot of women, especially that I've been working with. And there's this lack of trust in your decision making, lack of trust in the universe. And most of it is to do with what we have been shown or what we have done for ourselves. Because the lack of trust carries for some other people as well, but we've been taught that taught not to trust, that people will let us down, that people will disappoint us. And the number one wound for a woman is to be disappointed. And so we avoid it at all cost. And in the avoidance, we start to identify with this kind of armoring. So we are waiting for the other shoe to drop if there's a good situation, and we're waiting to see, when the person will let us down or disappoint us, or the situation or circumstances will do the same thing. And we're just in this cycle often where we're waiting for that proverbial shoe to drop. And when we do this, it's also not just a lack of trust in ourselves. It's a lack of trust in the divine, God, source, the universe, your higher power. And so what is becomes so clear is for so many of us, and I used to be there, so there's no judgment, there's no criticism, it's just awareness, is that we have a tendency when things are not going well, is we want to push harder. We want to then do more, and we step out of our feminine energy of allowing and receiving and leaning back into the masculine of doing and trying to figure it out, try to fix it, and trying to manage it. And the truth is, when we go into that energy, we actually push it away more. And the reason why is because then we're showing the universe we lack faith in the universe. We don't trust, we don't have faith, and we don't believe that the universe will provide. Again, God, source, the universe, whatever you call your higher power. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I have been working on this for a while now. Money is my bugaboo. And I now see these things as opportunities for us to actually do what we need to do in order for us to grow, change, evolve. So some people it's health, some people it's love, a lot of people it's money. Mine is money. So I have registered for a program that will help me evolve and grow in my business. And I put the first payment down at the end of March, or end of March, end of February. And the second payment was due tomorrow. So I put it out in the universe that, I need X amount of dollars by this date. And it got complicated because Saturday is on the weekend. Now, in the Caribbean, our banks don't open on the weekend at all. No access. And because it's a holiday, not just Friday, but also Monday, it means our banks are closed for 4 days. And I won't be able to get any money, even if I made it on a Saturday, into the bank until Tuesday. And it's due Saturday. So I've been really working on myself and my energy and whatnot. And so there was this, I think it was on Wednesday, and I go to do some content for my business, and I go to watch a replay of a program that I had been a part of, and there was just a full body no, just rest, read, watch YouTube videos, go inside and just reconnect with yourself. I did some energy clearings, and I was just guided to lean back and be in my feminine energy of trust and faith and believe that everything's going to work out. Now, this is a pattern of mine, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. If you can relate, put me in the comments. If you're watching the replay, #replay. And and so I had some resistance to that guidance of not doing anything for the day, because I'm like, well, how am I going to make money then? And how am I going to put myself out there? And how is it going to come? And, the mind just starts to go, right? What do I have to do? What should I offer some special in order for it to encourage people to buy a service and all this kind of stuff? So my mind is going, because we're down to the wire. I was able to make some money earlier in the month to pay for my car loan, and food for the month. So I was grateful for that. And I had some money left over, so I was being conservative, and I knew that, this other payment was coming. And so I had 4 days to get it, but I also wanted to get it before Thursday at 2:00 in the afternoon, which is when the bank closed. So then Tuesday, this is Tuesday, I'm being guided to lean back and trust and have faith. The universe will come through. So I wake up Wednesday morning, I go for my walk, I come back, and there's a missed call. So I pick up the call. There's a gentleman on the other end who is a tourist, had my number, and gratefully he called me to do 3 sessions, but it was 2-hour payment for massage. So I'm like, great, yay, I'm almost there. So then I get another call from a hotel that I work with, that 2 clients want me to come that night at 6:00, and I was done with this other set at 5. So I had to travel from one end to the island to the other, which is not far. It's like 15-20 minutes. And I would have said no normally, because it's a lot. But I'm like, I got this. I can do this. So I do this. So now I've made more than enough to pay this payment, plus have extra for some food. And so this is where the work comes in. Got to trust ourselves, trust the divine and the universe, and give up control. So, what I've also been noticing is that a lot of us are in our heads. So again, this is the masculine energy of the doing and the fixing and the needing and so think of it this way: you're grabbing. You're trying to hold on. You're trying to pull this money experience to you. It's gonna keep going further away. So we've got to lean back. We've got to tap into our hearts, have faith in ourselves, faith in the universe, that we will be provided and shown and supported for what we need and what we want. And I really felt strongly that we need to understand this, because I didn't understand it for a long time. And like I said, I've been working on this for a while now. And so just go into your heart, take some nice deep belly breaths, inhaling through your nose, expanding the rib cage, the upper chest, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6. Pause for 4 seconds, and then do it again. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. Now what this does is it helps your nervous system to go from fight, flight, and freeze, the sympathetic part of our nervous system, into rest and digest, our parasympathetic. And it also reduces the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the one that signals the need for cortisol and adrenaline. And if you can be coherent and in alignment with your heart space, then this is where the magic begins. So do that as many times to quiet the mind and for your body to start to relax and rest. And if you have to have a mantra of everything's okay, everything's always working out for me, anything is possible, because I believe now, I didn't for a long time, but with all this work I've been doing on myself, I believe that anything is possible, anything's possible for me, and anything's possible for me now. So I commanded that money to come to me before Thursday at 2:00. That money showed up within 15-20 minutes of the 2 phone calls the next morning, the Wednesday, so that I could then go into the bank before 2:00 in the afternoon, put the money in the bank, and allow myself to enjoy the long weekend and not feel like pressure to do the work or to create something that hopefully somebody will buy. I was just being. So I hope this helps. And I really encourage you to start working on these things. If you want change, the change has to come from you. If you want help with that change, I'm here for you. Reach out to me and let's get working together. I have different offers, different price points at different times. So it's best to DM me. We have a conversation. You let me know what you need and what you're looking for, and I will give you my best recommendation. And then we decide if that works for you budgetarily. And if not, then we can look at something else. I can create something customized to you and your budget. So trust yourself and the universe. And you know the saying, have ask and you shall receive. Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot. You ask, and the universe has heard you. You ask one time, the universe has heard you. Trust me. Now, and I'll tell you another story, which is really fantastic to give this a nice little bow. My daughters came home from their practice with their dad because he's their tennis coach, and something happened and he was triggered. We weren't together anymore, and I think he was angry and at something that I did and took it out on the girls. So the girls come home and they're fuming. Like, I've never seen them this angry before. And so they're talking, and they're going on and on about what happened and stuff like that. So I guide them outside. We're on the balcony, and they didn't want to be around him. So we're sitting in the balcony and we're chatting, and I think this was like in the middle of the year. I want to say the summer sometime, and we got daydreaming, and so we got talking about what would you like to do and where would you like to go, and what's your like number one place on your list to travel to, and all this kind of stuff. And my youngest daughter, it comes up that she wants to, for her 17th birthday, not a big one even, 17th birthday, she wants to go on a cruise. I'm like, okay, well, not likely, but anything is possible, right? So what would your experience be, and where would you want to go, and all this kind of stuff. And so we're just having fun with it. We let it go. We didn't even think about it. I had to get this call at the beginning of December for my ex-husband from the bank. Can you tell Mr. Hall to call us back? So like several calls, and he's not calling them back. He for whatever reason, he won't call them back. And so the guy says to me the last time he spoke to me, he's like, Miss Hall, you really want to come down to the bank today because you guys have won something, a big prize, but you have to be in person in order to receive the gift. I said, no problem. I said, he's on the account. So because he is the man, it's a very patriarchal society here, then it's his account and then I'm underneath. So I said, well, can I receive it because it's a joint account? He said, yes. No problem, come down. And what did we win? We won a cruise. And I offered it to my oldest daughter and the youngest. And she said, Mom, you take Vanessa for her birthday, which was the 10th of February. My birthday's the 1st of February. So I was thinking we go around my birthday because I don't think we received it until the middle of December. So you had Christmas and all these other things going on. And so my youngest daughter, who put that wish out there into the world, released it and let it go, and she received it, and I got the benefit of it. So, whoever's on live, thank you. I can't see any comments or anything, so let me know who it is so I can thank you when I get off and check out the comments on my laptop. So my point is, the universe will work with us. Ask. She asked. The how, the when, is not up to you. That's up to the universe. And then your job is to get in alignment with it. Remove all those limiting beliefs and the fears and the worries and the doubts, and be open to receiving it. And I was open to receive my gift the other day. Hi, Mel. How are you, lovely? Happy Easter weekend. So I just, whether that's about money, whether it's about love relationships, whether it's about your health, that's our job. We ask, the universe hears. Miss Mercy, how are you, lovely? The universe asks. We ask. The universe hears us. Trust that. First of all, you don't have to keep repeating yourself. The universe knows what you want and what you need. And I'm seeing comments now. Yay! And then we got to trust and have faith and believe that the universe has our back and that we're going to be divinely supported and divinely guided, and we have to put in the work. And the work is sometimes just as I was guided on Tuesday, just to get refocused and recentered and raise my vibration. And then Wednesday, within 10 minutes of each other, I get two phone calls, and those 2 phone calls led to enough money for what I needed to pay for that program. So it can happen for you too. And we've just got to quiet the mind, the ego mind. We've got to get out of our heads, and we've got to tap into our hearts as much as we possibly can. Ask yourself what we want, what you need, and then release it and let it go. Because like I said, the how and when is not your job. Being open to receiving is your job. Yes, 100% Mel. The how and when is in God's timing. 100%. And so what I'm also learning is that we don't want to wish or hope. So this is kind of a passive, not really fully trusting and not fully having faith that it's actually going to come through. So, and again, I've done this, so I know. So you kind of, you put it out there, but you're in your head still thinking, how am I going to do it? How am I going to get that money? How am I going to be able to get healthy again? How am I going to be able to find love, whatever the case is? And if we lean back in feminine energy and we're in faith and trust and tap into our hearts, and we breathe and we get our hearts into coherence and alignment and trust, have faith and believe that it can happen for us. It will. It will. I promise you it will. We have to be open to receive, not have our fists closed trying to pull things to us and the do. Now, in fairness, I really want you to hear this as well. There are some things you do have to do, but the universe will provide that information and guide you through it. So for this circumstance, I was guided to get super clear. I was guided to put out the time, the money, how much, and by when. And I did that. I was guided to elevate my energy and my auric field and my ability to attract. And I did. I was guided to rest on that Tuesday, and I did. So I followed. I still did. It was still action. It just didn't look like it because it was more about being instead of doing. So we still have to do our part. We still have to remove the limiting beliefs. We still have to step into the identity of the sovereign and release the shadow and release the wounded parts of us so we can raise our vibration. And when we raise our vibration, that's when we become more magnetic and start attracting. So I hope this helped you. I felt compelled to do it. I follow my guidance. I don't question these days. So have a blessed day. Have a fantastic Easter holiday. And this springtime is here for different parts of the world. So this is just an invitation for you to really step into the growth and the plant the seeds and see what's going to come for the summer. And I also encourage you to really trust you. This can be difficult for a lot of women, and can be very difficult if you've had some traumatic experiences. And you can build trust by honoring your word to yourself. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you don't think you're going to do it, don't say anything, or don't put it in your head that you need to be having it done by a certain amount of time. Eventually you'll get there, but you really want to set yourself up for success and not failure. That's really important. So I've talked about this in the past, and I'll leave it on this note. When we are trying to get more trust within ourselves, what I do is if I have a list of things that I want done by, let's say, the end of the week, within that 7 days, most of us have a list that's this long. I want you to do one thing this week and get it done, and it's a no matter what. Hi, Rebecca. So we do it, and we do it no matter what. That one thing. What does that one thing that you need to get done, or it's like priority, it's top of the list that needs to get done by, let's say, next week, Friday. Or one thing you want to be finished by next week, Friday. If you do that, then you're setting yourself up for failure or for success, because you're going to do that one thing. And then on Friday, if you get that one thing done, then you celebrate and you honor yourself, whether that looks like going out for a drink or having a muffin, or maybe it's just, yay, me, I did it. Whatever it looks like. You can put it even at the end of this post or in the group next week, Friday, celebrating, so we can celebrate you as well. So if it's on your health, maybe you need to do certain things that you haven't been doing, or you should be doing. I remember working with this one massage client, and she was grumbling and grousing over the fact that she's put some weight on and whatever. And I'm saying, well, if you tried this and you tried that, everything, there must have been like anywhere between 5 and 10 things that I said she could be doing. And she kept saying, I know. I'm like, okay. So I took a deep breath, and then I asked the question, so why aren't you doing it, if you know? And it made her pause. So why are you not doing these things for yourself? You're worth it. You're worthy. You're deserving. You're more than good enough. So why not you? Why not put make you a priority? Why not take something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, or a little time, doesn't matter, but it's important to you, Why aren't we doing it for ourselves? So, one thing, next Friday, I will put a post up and I will ask you if you did your one thing. And I'll check in probably midweek, and then we'll see if you remember. It's one of your challenges. I get my job where I used to work many moons ago. It's your challenge. I had to open the door. Yay! So Rebecca did did my 3-day masterclass a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And oh my gosh, I can't remember what the name of it is. But she did it, and she's been wanting to get a job for the last little while, and she got a job. So exciting. See? Because the elevation raised your vibration. You released some of the old crap and then stepped into the new. This is why it works. And she hasn't worked for over 15 years. Wow, that is so incredible. So incredible. So if you want the replays to those videos, let me know. And I think it was the end of survival mode. It was. Sorry, got a lot of things going on. So end of survival mode. So if that interests you, then put in recordings, and then I will send you the recordings for that. It was 3 days, so it was about 45 minutes to an hour each. So if you want to do that, let me know, and I'll put them on YouTube, and then you can watch them. Okay? So have a blessed holiday weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.